What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear Belgium? Waffles, beautiful architecture, or are you planning a holiday there? Belgium has long captivated the world with its chocolates, waffles, and architecture, but the country has also been infamous for its potential divide. But why would a European country the size of the US state of Maryland, with a total territory of 30,528 kilometers and a population of slightly more than 11.5 million, desire to split up? The answer to this question is deeply rooted in history, which has evolved into a complex modern-day problem as the country went through its growth journey. Skipping a full history lesson, what you need to know is that due to its central location among three main rivers, Belgium has been relatively prosperous with financial and political links to its larger neighbors since the 5th century. The modern-day Belgium is the result of the collapse of the French First Republic, after which followed the formation of the United Kingdom of the Netherlands, which included the Netherlands and Belgium of today. However, due to an economic gap and a lack of governmental representation, the southern region desired independence. After much struggle, Belgium was finally recognized as an independent nation in 1839. However, today, Belgium is almost equally divided into two halves, north and south, owing to two factors, language and economy. A substantial language split between the Dutch-speaking, also known as Flemish of the North, and the French-speaking of the South, entrenched in historical, cultural, and political factors, sits at the heart of Belgium's conflict. The Dutch-speaking northern region is called Flanders, and the French-dominated south is called Wallonia. In addition, a sizable portion of the population in eastern Belgium speaks German. And then there's Brussels, the capital city, which is quite multilingual. The coexistence of Dutch-speaking Flanders to the north and French-speaking Wallonia to the south has been a delicate balancing act that has shown signs of tensions at times. In the 19th century, the southern province of Wallonia capitalized on its coal riches, resulting in the emergence of the wealthy French, which led to French becoming the country's sole official language. This language dominance also resulted in Wallonia having a greater influence in political matters, hence shaping the country. However, with the turn of the 20th century came the depletion of the southern coal mines, which caused a corresponding collapse in the region's economy. Meanwhile, the northern Flanders region was growing economically powerful through commercialization, i.e. trade, port construction, and encouraging service-led industries. This enabled the Dutch-speaking populace to promote their Flemish culture more aggressively, leading to an increase in their linguistic pull. This linguistic divide was stressed further during World War I and World War II, when Germany used the linguistic divide between Flanders and Wallonia to advance their occupation as part of their divide and rule strategy. The linguistic divide in the country today is so prevalent that it has a significant role in politics. Belgium is a federal state, yet language is considered at every level of government functionary. In simple terms, all members of the executive, legislature, and judiciary are equally divided as per language. However, Belgium's regions also possess regional autonomy. Now, I don't want to complicate things by delving too far into this political system, so let's look at how linguistic divide led to an economic divide. The 20th century twist of fate has resulted in the north being economically powerful and the southern region lagging in comparison to the north. Flanders has emerged as the wealthier region, with robust businesses and strong economic growth, whereas Wallonia has failed to keep up. The economic disparities between these regions have strained the delicate balance of power and led to calls of greater economic autonomy and control. In the 21st century, Flanders has continuously managed to balance its budget with lesser debt on its name. Wallonia, on the other hand, has a greater degree of debt. This discrepancy is reflected on both regions' contributions to national GDP, and as a result, Flanders is frequently regarded as the creditor and Wallonia as the debtor. All of this appears to provide sufficient grounds for Belgium to be separated into Flanders and Wallonia. So are we going to witness Belgium divide? What happens next? For the longest period, the Belgian government has been looking for a solution to this situation. However, the prospect of partition was not widely discussed until 2007, when Belgium faced a political crisis. Following the 2007 general election, Belgium had no coalition government for 196 days, which many feel may have resulted in a partition if no negotiations had taken place. Today, the hypothetical partition of Belgium makes news every now and then. It has been proposed by many, and the solutions that we hear about the most are 1. The division of Belgium into two independent states. 2. Flanders, Belgium Dutch-speaking region joins the Netherlands, and Wallonia, the French-speaking region, joins France. But the million-dollar question here is, what about Brussels and the German-speaking regions of eastern Belgium? This is just one of the numerous issues at stake in this complex problem that fails to show any of the two proposed alternatives suitable. Belgium's potential divide has far-reaching effects and implications that stretch far beyond its boundaries. A split could result in trade interruptions, a loss of foreign investment, and regional economic imbalances. It may also have an impact on Belgium's role within the European Union and its international standing. In terms of governance, representation, and diplomatic relations, the division would necessitate a comprehensive rebuilding of government structures and frameworks. The possibility of this division might also set a precedent for other European regions, triggering arguments over regional autonomy and self-determination. Despite linguistic and economic problems, Belgium has maintained its unity with extraordinary tenacity. To accommodate the linguistic diversity within its borders, the government has implemented bilingualism and sought compromises. Initiatives that provide regional cooperation, cultural exchanges, and solidarity have also played an important role in increasing understanding and overcoming boundaries. As Belgium navigates these challenges, it faces critical choices that will shape its destiny. Whether Belgium remains united or takes a new path, the story of its linguistic and economic divide serves as a compelling example of the complexities inherent in diverse nations. As the world watches, we must remember that innumerable conflicts have occurred throughout history, and mankind has somehow overcome them. And while Belgium's issue is unique, every other region of the world is also experiencing problems of their own. However, what we must recognize is the importance of open dialogue, understanding, and respect in addressing the concerns of different regions and communities. Because ultimately, it is the collective will of the people that will determine the fate of their nation and shape the course of history.